In today's video, how I created my very first art contest entry, an opinion of mine on what art is for me, and how a single act of kindness can change someone else's route of life. Sound dramatic enough? Hello everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, where I'm showcasing my art process as well as yapping about different topics. So grab your drinks and let's get started. I might have had a little bit too much coffee for this one, but I really wanted to make it on time and fill it into my busy art schedule, because today I'm going to show you how I drew my entry for an art contest that I randomly stumbled on my feed. I follow this artist on Instagram named Sketchy.Liz. I love their art style, absolutely gorgeous. The design choices and posing, dynamic, colors, everything. And I often get inspired by their amazing work. And one day I just see this post where they collaborate with the XP Pen graphic tablet profile, and they're making this amazing art contest. By the time you're watching this video, it's probably over because it was hosted back in May, and I rarely join any challenges or contests, so I thought for a change I might do that. This contest specifically caught my attention because it was inspired off of emojis, and artists were tasked to create a mermaid off of two emojis, fox emoji and a color palette emoji, which honestly I haven't seen before, like ever. I have never thought about mixing mermaids with any other animals because like mermaid is already half fish, right? But I was thinking, since I have this Lydia World art project going on and I have a lot of kimono mimi characters, I could use one of my original characters and turn them into a mermaid, for instance. So I went through a couple of my older designs and I realized that one of my older characters, Amaterasu, fits perfectly into the criteria. She has a fluffy tail, she has nice fluffy ears, and her kimono is not too much detailed. And I had this idea popped in my head, since she has these flames going out of her ears. I thought that I would also make her tail flaming, and you know, all of this even fits in my Lydia World setting as well, because she is a resonance entity that is like, you know, local spirits, and they can be shaped in literally anything. So I might even make this a canon look, though I'm not completely sure about it. But anyway, I just sketched out a couple of poses here and there, and when I was happy with one of them, I made it into a complete sketch that you see me now working on. And since this artwork is inspired off of the whole Sketchy.Liz's artwork, I wanted to make it a little bit more mimicking her style, so I went with a little bit more dynamic pose than I'm used to drawing, and I wanted to make the color palette look a little bit more unified and less saturated than I'm used to when I'm drawing my own artworks. And for that specific reason, I decided I would color the whole page with a light yellow-orange marker. To my knowledge, it's called underpainting, might have other names as well, I'm not so sure. I am not academically literate in this case. As you know, I'm a self-taught artist, so I'm trying my best to match the correct naming of the techniques and styles and blah 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 blah, all those art academic stuff. I'm sorry, I told you I've had a lot of coffee today, so don't mind me fidgeting with my language because my thoughts are racing. I guess ADHD is ADHDing better with support of caffeine, but if that helps me work faster and better, I don't mind that. You know, this art contest is something that I haven't done in quite a while. And by the way, this is the first contest that I'm joining with this art channel. Like, I have mixed thoughts about art contests in general, because art is quite subjective in my opinion. And it's really hard to fairly compare one artwork to the other. I mean, there certainly are some criteria that can be unifying for the artworks, like skill level, rendering, detailing, color palette, composition, stuff like that, you know, all the boring art school things. But every artwork is unique in its own style, and I can find something good in every artwork that I see, at least the ones that clearly have been put some effort in, you know. I'm not meaning the stick figure drawings that are literally spent like 10 seconds to be drawn, or some cheating like tracing the same base all over and just recoloring the whole thing. This is not an artwork for me. is just like a practice or whatever. It's something completely different. It's not an art. Like, I've seen art accounts out there that are posting literally the same drawing over and over again, and they call it an art style. And I don't think that is something to be considered art. I don't know, you can prove me wrong in the comments if you want to, but I don't think I'm gonna change my opinion on that. Because to me, art is something about self-expression. Someone expresses themselves through the words, someone expresses through the art or music, and it's all subjective, so it doesn't mean that everyone will like it, and that's completely fine. I express myself through art by drawing characters, and it's certainly not for everyone. Some will say that my art is not an art either, because it doesn't look like classical canvases, made by masters from the past. I don't care. I have my own art journey, and I use it to de-stress myself and express myself and maybe tell some little stories or maybe heal my own mental traumas, whatever. I'm finding comfort in this. And if someone else likes what I do, that's a bonus. That's why I started posting my art online in the first place. For years, I drew stuff and I never posted anything because I thought, like, who would be interested in that? I was criticizing myself like, oh, it's not perfect, so it's not worth posting. It's not interesting enough. It's not big enough or small enough or blah, 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 all this mean stuff. And I'm not sure why exactly this was happening in my head because I cannot even clearly remember when it started or why it started. And honestly, I think I would never start posting if it wasn't for one person who just casually happened to check one of my sketchbooks and ask me a simple question: why don't you post it online? It looks cool. Like, up until that point in time, I didn't even think about it as something that is worth sharing. I'm not sure. Maybe it was because of my depression back in the day. Maybe it was just result of unhealed trauma. I don't know. Many things have changed since then, honestly. And up until this day, I'm super grateful for this person. Single comment. A moment of kindness and genuine interest to something that I like to do. It is definitely a number of factors that got connected in one single moment of time. A moment of realization that maybe, just maybe, it is worth sharing with the world. Sometimes I feel like this was some sort of divine intervention. And I'm not a religious person, but I guess I met the right people and the right events happened just on time. And I'm here doing whatever I need to do to fulfill my purpose, I guess. Because I really found a purpose in making art and enjoying it and sharing this joy with you, whoever is watching and listening to this. There is enough darkness and hurt in the world. If I can make a small campfire space to lighten things up a little bit and make it a warmer and safer place for everyone, maybe we can change that. What do you think? And meanwhile, this artwork has been done. I really enjoyed working on it. And even if I don't win anything, it's not a purpose I'm joining this contest anyway. I had a lot of fun drawing and imagining my character as a mermaid. And I'm looking forward to hear what do you think down in the comments. And as always, you can support me and my work by subscribing to this channel, sharing this video, and checking out my other social media linked down in the description. Doing all of these algorithm pleasing procedures will really help me and my art mission. And as always, I'm wishing you a magical day ahead and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.